Now we're going to flip over and I'm going to do the slideshow right from here. Okay. There we go. So, New York as a backdrop. We've been talking about this now for a few weeks, but it continues to truly be a part of the Broadway musical scene. And let's start with what Funny Girl did, actually going back to 1964. First of all, there was a tremendous competition between Hello Dolly and Funny Girl. David Merrick, the producer, had actually been involved in both shows, and he gave up on Funny Girl because he just didn't feel as committed to the project for whatever his reason was. And when Hello Dolly opened and Funny Girl both opened at about the same time, he went on a vicious, ferocious campaign to make sure that Hello Dolly would win all of the Tony accolades. Streisand was literally ignored for Carol Channing, and it started a huge feud between them. Streisand feeling that Hello Dolly was always an inferior piece of garbage to what she was doing. But there's not much about Funny Girl that's truly accurate. When we talked about the biographies of music and in musicals, I pointed out that Fanny Brice was not a little girl waif from the Lower East Side at all, and that she was not exactly this naive young thing who meets Nick Arnstein is swept off her feet by them. But Streisand, as I also mentioned, was not the original first choice. The first choice for Fanny Brice was Anne Bancroft. But Anne Bancroft, when Sondheim, well, let me back up. Mary Martin was the first choice, and Stephen Sondheim quit the project because he said no one would believe Mary Martin was a 19-year-old Jewish girl from the Lower East Side, and then Mary Martin, thinking about it, quit the project as well. But they brought in Bob Merrill to write the lyrics, and Anne Bancroft had just finished a turbulent breakup with Bob Merrill, so she dropped out of the project. Well, after that, they started looking for others to play Fanny Brice, and the next one they thought might work would be Edie Gourmet. Well, she might have been great, and her demands were that her husband, Steve Lawrence, had to be Nick Arnstein. All that was fine, but when they went into the audition process, they found out pretty quickly she could not act her way out of a paper bag for what they were looking for. The next person they went to probably would have been also excellent, and that was Carol Burnett. But Gary Moore would not release Carol Burnett from her contract to go do that, so she made the public comment she was withdrawing from the role because she did not feel she was Jewish enough to portray Fanny Brice. Then after that, they really start looking around, and Barbara Streisand at this point in time had sort of become, at the age of about 21, a nightclub singer with great interpretive skills. She was getting recognized by getting onto lots of television shows. Ed Sullivan had her, The Tonight Show had her, and she was starting to develop this persona that she could in fact be Fanny Brice. She allowed her Brooklynese to truly drive her persona at this point in time, and it really set Funny Girl in motion. And you'll notice at the bottom picture there is Barbara Streisand and Sidney Chaplin, the son of Charlie. But over Barbara Streisand's right hand is a famous character actress who went on to great fame several years after Funny Girl, and that's Jean Stapleton. She was a Broadway warhorse of an actress, always taking character parts, and it was all in the family that made her famous later on. But of course, the Funny Girl story is that, it's deeply set in New York, tied to the New York characters, the Lower East Side, the success and fame of Broadway. And of course, that's Streisand on the cover of Time magazine.
People children, and yet letting a grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children, lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you are half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst. First be a person who needs people, people who need people. Are the luckiest people in the
The irony of that song is it was almost cut in Boston. Julie Stein and the creative team felt it made no sense for Fanny Brice to be singing that. And Streisand was adamant. She said, I'll bring the house down with that song every night. Now, she did and prevailed, and it stayed in the production. Mame or Auntie Mame. Actually, the other day it was on one movie channel or other, and I forgot really how wonderful it is. It's one of those special movies. And Jerry Herman, after Hello Dolly, knew he wanted to take that story of Auntie Mame and with Lawrence and Lee converted it into a musical. New York has to be its background. The idea that there's this madcap woman who lives an avant-garde lifestyle in the 1930s in New York truly captured everybody's imagination. And you know, Angela Lansbury was not exactly the first choice for this part either. It was initially offered to Mary Martin, and for some reason or other, she turned it down. No one really knows why she turned it down, but she just didn't think that Auntie Mame was the right character for her. What a mistake she truly made. And the next person they went to was Ginger Rogers, who turned it down. They went to Lucille Ball, who remembered her last Broadway experience, and the fact that she was now #1 on television again. It just did not interest her, and they went to all kinds of people looking for the right one. When Jerry Herman remembered that he had seen Angela Lansbury in Anyone Can Whistle, the 8-performance run of the Stephen Sondheim musical, and how interesting she was. And Angela Lansbury's career was absolutely in the tank. No one was looking at her. No one was interested in her. And it just really was not anybody's idea of a first choice for, the actress who would take on the role. Well, interestingly enough, Angela Lansbury was coached by Jerry Herman for the Backers audition for an entire week. She nailed it, and it changed her life. I happen to love this poster because it just captures the spirit of Auntie Mame, and is really such an incredible career launching move for her. She had no idea what this was really going to do. And, they had also considered Judy Garland. I want to point this out. But by this point in time, everybody realized Judy Garland was quite difficult, that she might not make it. And this is when they suddenly started looking again. Within Mame, there are a great many songs that, are really true Jerry Herman. But one that I think is so relevant is one about parenting. When we as a parent realize that we've done everything we can for our kids, and they go off and they make their own decisions, oftentimes frustrating us in the process. Where's that boy with the bugle? My little love, who is always my big romance. Where's that boy with the bugle? And why did I ever buy him those damn long pants? Did he need a stronger hand? Did he need a lighter touch? Was I soft or was I tough? Did I give enough? Did I give too much? At the moment that he needed me, did I ever turn away? Would I be there when he called if he walked into my life today? Were his days a little dull? Were his nights a little wild? Did I overstate my plan? Did I stress the man and forget the child? And there must have been a million things that my heart forgot to say. Would I think of one or two if he walked into my life today? Should I blame the times I pampered him, or blame the times I bossed him? What a shame I never really found the boy before I lost him. Were the years a little fast? Was his world a little free? Was there too much of a crowd, all too lush and loud, and not enough of me? Though I'll ask myself my whole life long, what went wrong along the way? Would I make the same mistakes if he walked into my life today? If that boy with the bugle walked into my life today. Well, Angela Lansbury had something to say about all of this too.
If one had to find a predominant theme for the musicals of 1966, it would most certainly be the articulation of a personal philosophy, the unquenchable human spirit. In the confusion of contemporary life, Mame and two-time Tony winner Angela Lansbury advises us to open a new window.
Open a new window, open a new door, travel a new highway that's never been tried before. Before you'll find you're a dull fellow, punching the same clock, walking the same tightrope as everyone on the block. The fella you want to be is three-dimensional, soaking up life down to your toes. Whenever they say you're slightly unconventional, just put your thumb up to your nose and show them how to dance to a new rhythm, whistle a new song, toast to the new vintage. The fizz isn't fizz too long. There's only one way to make the bubble stay. Simply travel a new highway, dance to a new rhythm, open a new window, There's only one way to make the bubble stay.
the things about Angela Lansbury that I think we forget is that on the stage, those eyes read to the last row of the balcony. She truly had a fabulous space for the stage. Even though her career had been in the movies, on stage, she really made it her own. Now, another musical, whoops, let's get to it, that you may not be familiar with, ran in 1967. How Now, Dow Jones, with Tony Award nominees all over the place. And the idea, Tony Roberts starred in this. And this was a year with a particular vacuum of great musicals to nominate. And it was the idea about a stockbroker who couldn't get married until the Dow Jones Industrial Average, due to work with him, announces that it'll go over 1,000. Well, that seems funny looking back at that number. But here's a story from How Now, Dow Jones, and I think you'll recognize this song.
You wouldn't think they could make a musical about Wall Street, would you? Well, they did, with How Now, Dow Jones. In this next number, we meet Charlie Matheson, an up-and-coming broker who has just sold his first share of stock to a ladies' club.
Will everyone here kindly step to the rear and let a winner lead the way? Here's where we separate the notes from the noise, the men from the boys. From the poison ivy, back in the front, Johnny came up with a hunch. This was your up and Adam Day.
It's one of those spells when you hear the right bells.
And your horoscope tells you to say, will everyone here kindly step to the rear and let a winner lead the way?
I hear those trumpets begin to play, and now I'm Washington upon the Delaware.
Will everyone here kindly step to the rear and let a winner lead the way? Here's where we separate the nut from the quack. He is from the pack. From the Macintoshes, back in the groove. I came up with the scoop.
This was the time to rise and say, I've got in my eyes such a jubilant sky that the 4th of July will seem gray.
Will everyone here kindly step to the rear and let a winner lead the way? As our investments begin to grow.
To quote from Davy Crockett at the Alamo.
Will everyone here kindly step to the rear and let a winner lead the way? A leader!
And
And that, of course, is Tony Roberts. If you know the movie Annie Hall or some of the other Woody Allen movies, Tony Roberts has been in a lot of those, well-known Broadway actor. Sweet Charity, of course, had to be set in New York. The idea of, I mean, all of the lyrics are New York. She goes to Bloomingdale's. She does so many things. This had to operate in the mentality of New Yorker. Based upon a Fellini movie, Nights of the Cabiria, Fosse wanted to write it, choreograph it, direct it. He wanted it all himself. But once he got it written, he realized that the script just wasn't as funny as he thought it might be. So he rushes to Rome, grabs Neil Simon, who's on vacation with his wife, brings him one scene, and it's rewritten totally. The problem is, no one was willing to really embrace a prostitute as the central character of a musical. So this rather sanitized version of what this character is what populates Sweet Charity. But what drives Sweet Charity in our recollection, of course, is, you know, the music and the Bob Fosse choreography, the memories of the performance Gwen Verdon gave. And of course, the movie was Shirley MacLaine, and it was Gwen Verdon who on her own went and taught Shirley MacLaine how to dance the way Bob Fosse actually needed her to.
Fella, can I talk to you for a second? What's the harm in a little talk?
Hey, good looking. I like your hair.
Hey, mister, you got a cigarette for me? Huh?
Hey, monsieur, do you speak French? Parlez-vous français?
Hey, cowboy, you want to dance? We'll dance on hurt
I'm Rosie.
you. Not for long, you ain't.
Oh, you're so tall.
Let's have some fun.
Walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? Let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender! And a little time with me. Wanna have fun? How's about a few plans? I can show you a good time. Do you wanna have fun? Fun, fun. How's about a few fun? Laugh, 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 show you laugh, laugh, good time, fun, laugh, good time, fun, laughs, good time. I could give you some.
Are you ready for
Fun.
How would you like
Let me show you a good time. Hey, big spender. Hey, big spender. Out in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender. Good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender. Hey, big spender. Hey, big spender. A little time with me. Fun laughs, good time. Fun laughs, good time. Fun laughs, good time. How's about it, pal?
Of course, Anne Reinking had the lead role in the middle. Now, this particular scene, If They Could See Me Now, was the scene that Neil Simon rewrote first. He tried to make it a whole lot funnier than it had been. And of course, it's the Cy Coleman song with Dorothy Field's lyrics and the great Fosse choreography, and of course, Gwen Verdon. And it's interesting to see how he worked them in to the number, the black hat, the cane, the black outfit. And of course, he always believed all a dancer needed was an outfit in black. Promises, Promises, the musicalization of the movie The Apartment, the cynical satire of corporate life in New York, came about through an odd luncheon. Of course, this too had to be set in New York just because of the nature of the cynicism of corporate America. And, in a lunch, David Merrick, the producer, and Neil Simon had never met. And by this point in time, Neil Simon was extremely successful. He'd already written The Odd Couple, Barefoot in the Park, and the two of them had never met because Neil Simon worked with a producer by the name of Saint Suber. So David Merrick at this lunch at Sardi's asked him, what do you think, Neil, would be the perfect movie to musicalize? And Neil Simon, without a beat, says, oh, without a doubt, The Apartment. And then he says to Neil, well, who do you think would be the perfect leading man if we were to get the movie rights to do this? And without a beat, Neil Simon says Jerry Orbach. And then he says to him, who do you think should write the score for a musical based upon The Apartment? And without a beat, Neil Simon says, well, without a doubt, Bacharach and David. 2 weeks later, Neil Simon gets a phone call from David Merrick that says, Neil, I got it. We start on Monday. And Neil Simon says, I don't know what you're talking about. He says, well, I got the rights to The Apartment. I've got Bacharach and David. I've got Jerry Orbach. We're all set. Well, Promises, Promises was great in its day. It hasn't aged all that well because the cynicism of the movie just doesn't really carry over onto the book. But this is maybe the last musical until Cats that had hit songs, this one and Hair. And this is from the 1968 or 9 Tonys.
It's not unusual for David Merrick to have 4 hits on Broadway. He is the producer of Hello, Dolly, 40 Carats, Play It Again, Sam, and the biggest of his hits, Promises, Promises. Promises, Promises has been nominated for Tonys in 8 categories. We can't show you all of them, but we can bring you Jerry Orbach as Chuck Baxter, a rising young insurance accountant. At the moment, a very happy young man because he has just discovered he shares a common interest with the girl he loves.
So I was wondering, Miss Kubel, if maybe you'd like to go to the basketball game. It starts at 6:30. But it's a doubleheader. We don't have to see the first game. Yeah, we don't even have to see the whole second game. We can come in at the half or the last quarter. All the action's in the last 12 minutes anyway. You can? 9 o'clock? Not 9 is the perfect time. You don't run into all those early rushers who want to see everything. Great. Well, I'll see you at 9 o'clock. How about that? She likes basketball. She likes basketball. How about that? We have something in common to talk about. Basketball. She likes basketball. How about that? I have some place to take her when we go out. Basketball. Whoever would have dreamed, never would have thought that my favorite girl liked my favorite sport. Like any other kid, I would make believe with a ball in my hand. I dribble right past all the others real fast, and I think 6'8", and my shot was very good. She likes basketball, and that wild is an omen that good things are on their way. Things to share. We share basketball, wouldn't you die? From a simple beginning like this, we may get somewhere. It's nice to dream someday it might be basketball and me. Oh, I would have dreamed, never would have thought that my favorite girl, my favorite sport. Like any other kid, I would make believe with a ball in my hand. I dribble right past all the others real fast, and I just think away, and I shot. She likes basketball. That's why it's an omen that good things are on their way. Things to share. We share basketball, wouldn't you die? From a simple beginning like this, we may get somewhere. It's nice to dream someday it might be basketball.
A lot of people don't realize what an important contribution Jerry Orbach made to the Broadway stage. He was the most used leading man for 30 years, hardly a household name unless you were a Broadway goer. And it was Law and Order, of course, that put him on the map. Applause, the story of a 40-year-old actress whose career and personal life is being wreaked havoc upon by a young actress who wants to take over her life, was the basis of All About Eve, originally to star Claudette Colbert, obviously replaced by Bette Davis in that classic Joseph L. Mankiewicz script. Well, the script was never available to Comden and Green, who wanted to convert it into a musical, until much later, and by that point they'd already gone based upon the short story it was based upon. But they cast Lauren Bacall. They thought that she was the perfect person to take on the persona of Margot Channing on the musical stage. Now, of course, when Lauren Bacall was cast, sort of the epitome of New York sophistication at the time, she said, I can't really sing and I can't really dance, but what have I got to lose? Because all I'm known as today is really the most famous widow in all of Hollywood. And she takes on the part. It was filmed for television. And one of the things that's so interesting about it, it was the very first musical that had real gay characters and even showed gay nightlife in New York.
Hey, come on, Pagliacci, baby. Gotta get prettied up for the party.
Oh, I don't want to go to another opening night party.
What?
I deserve a good time tonight. Dwayne? How would you like to escort two lonely ladies out on the town?
I got a date.
Bring them along.
I was just going down to the village to join some friends. I don't know if you'd like it.
We'll adore it. Eve, we are going to Greenwich Village.
But it's opening night. You must feel exhausted.
I'm too exhausted to go to the party. but I'm much too excited to go home to sleep. I feel groggy and weary and tragic, punchy and bleary and fresh out of magic, but alive, but alive, but alive. I feel twitchy and bitchy and manic, calm and collected and choking with panic, but alive, but alive, but alive. I'm 1,000 different people, every single one is real. I've 1,000,000 different feelings, okay, but at least I feel. And I feel rotten, yet covered with roses. Younger than springtime and older than Moses. Frisky as a lamb, lazy as a clam. Crazy, but I am alive.
Marvel Channing!
Drat, I've been recognized. I don't believe it. Here, I mean, didn't you open tonight, the Buzz Richards play?
Guilty.
This is a historic moment.
Dwayne, I'm spoiling all the fun.
Shall I call the party and tell them that you'll be there soon? Don't go. Stay.
Are you kidding? I'm here for the night. I feel wicked and wacky and mellow, firm as Gibraltar and shaky as Jello, but alive, but alive, but alive. I feel up Tijuana, up Boston, partly Jane Fonda and partly Jane Austen, but alive. That's the thing, but alive. This kaleidoscope of feeling whirls around inside my brain. I admit I'm slightly cuckoo, but it's down to be too sane. And I feel brilliant and brash and bombastic, limp as a puppet and simply fantastic, but alive, but alive, but alive. She's here, my dear, can you believe it? She's here, oh Lord, I can't believe it. She's here, it's just too groovy to believe. Woo!
No, on the performance of Lauren Bacall, it was sure star power. And a choreographer and costume designer's secret is you put a costume that moves so that the person who's in the costume looks like they're really moving. And of course, Lauren Bacall was a great sport doing whatever they wanted her to do. And she really captured a lot of enthusiasm for that. Company truly set in New York City. The story of a bachelor imagining his 35th birthday party and what that's going to be for him was the first of the true plotless musicals. Sondheim, Hal Prince, George Firth creating what's now been considered a great classic of American musical theater storytelling. New York is the core of the piece because it's the metaphor for loneliness in relationships. How could 10 million people and surround you and you be totally lonely and distraught? And it was the metaphor for this because marriages and relationships then becoming the center focus of Company. One of my favorite moments, I mean, the whole thing is absolutely terrific. And it's been revived many times. And this particular revival that I'm going to show you was done where the actors actually portrayed their own instruments. But one of the great numbers in Company is the story about all these people that come to the city continually looking for their fame and fortune.
Another 100 people just got off of the train and came up to the ground, while another 100 people just got off of the bus and are looking around at another 100 people who got off of the plane and are looking at us who got off of the train and the plane and the bus maybe yesterday. It's a city of strangers. Some come to work, some to play. A city of strangers. Some come to stare, some to stay. And every day, the ones who stay can find each other in the crowded streets and the guarded parks, by the rusty fountains and the dusty trees with the battered barks. And I walk together by the plastered walls of the crude remarks. And they meet at parties with the friends of friends who they never know. Will you pick me up or do I meet you there? Shall we let it go? Did you get my message? Cause I looked in vain. Can we see each other Tuesday if it doesn't rain? Look, I'll call you in the morning or my service will explain. And another 100 people just got off of the train. They find each other in the crowded streets and the guarded parks, by the rusty fountains and the dusty trees with the battered barks. And I walk together by the plastered walls of the crude remarks. And they meet at parties with the friends of friends who they never know. Will you pick me up or do I meet you there? Shall we let it go? Did you get my message? Cause I looked in vain. Can we see each other Tuesday if it doesn't rain? Look, I'll call you in the morning or my service will explain. And another 100 people just got off of the train. Enjoy your party. Another 100 people just got off of the train and came up through the ground, while another 100 people just got off of the bus and are looking around at another 100 people who got off of the plane and are looking at us who got off of the train and the plane and the bus maybe yesterday. It's a city of strangers. Some come to work, some to play. A city of strangers. Some come to stare, some to stay. And every day some go away, or they find each other in the crowded streets and the guarded parks, by the rusty mountains and the dusty trees with the battered barks. And I walk together by the plastered walls of the crude remarks. And they meet at parties with the friends of friends who they never know. Will you pick me up or do I meet you there? Shall we let it go? Did you get my message? Cause I looked in vain. Can we see each other Tuesday if it doesn't rain? Look, I'll call you in the morning or my service will explain. And another 100 people just got off of the train. Another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. Another 100 people just got off of the train.
Such a great song. The second musical that Sondheim Prince worked on that was considered a classic is Follies, based upon, looking for the picture, based upon this picture of Gloria Swanson standing in the rubble of the Roxy Theater. The idea for a reunion for showgirls absolutely defied what anybody would have imagined at the time. Follies being the most expensive musical ever staged at $750,000. No one could comprehend what Prince and Sondheim were doing. The conceit of Follies girls who come back to New York to relive their lives, sharing the follies of their lives and so forth. Follies being a metaphor, of course. But there's a song in Follies that's so accurate about the people who come to New York looking for their big break. And, you know, some of you know, I auditioned for Broadway when I was 18 years old. It gave me a big wake-up call. It wasn't the way I wanted to live my life. It's a long story I'll save for another time. But Broadway Baby certainly tells the story of how so many Broadway hopefuls feel. I'm just a Broadway baby, walking off my tired feet, pounding 42nd Street to be in a show. Broadway baby, learning how to sing and dance, waiting for that one big chance to be in a show. Gee, I'd like to be on some marquee, all twinkling in lights, a spark to pierce the dark from Battery Park to Washington Heights. Someday maybe all my dreams will be repaid. Heck, I'd even play the maid to be in a show. Say, Mr. Producer, I'm talking to you, sir. I don't need a lot, only what I got, plus a tube of grease paint and a follow spot. I'm just a Broadway baby, slaving at a 5 and 10, dreaming of the great day when I'll be in a show. Broadway baby, making rounds all afternoon, eating in a greasy spoon to save on my dough. At my tiny flat, well, there's just my cat, a bed and a chair. Still, I'll stick it till I'm on a bill all over Times Square. Someday maybe, if I stick it long enough, I may get to strut my stuff, working for a nice man like a Ziegfeld or a Weissman in a great big Broadway show. Well, the story of Follies, and of course, a life-changing Broadway musical for so many. Seesaw, another musical about New York, based upon Two for the Seesaw, the beatnik kind of crazy girl that comes to the city, meets this straight-laced lawyer from the Bronx, the straight-laced lawyer from Nebraska, rather. There's quite a backdrop story to this. Actually, Mayor Lindsay, if you can imagine, even took on the lead after a while. But Michelle Lee replaced Lainie Kazan. They were best friends until Michelle Lee ended up being the person that replaced Lainey Kazan, because Lainey Kazan was just not right for the part somehow or other. It introduced us to Tommy
I'm Tommy
Tune.
Tune from the cast of the Broadway musical Seesaw. And right now, I know that our total reads 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Well, it's a beginning. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. It's not how you go, it's how you land. 100 to 1 shot, you call him a klutz. Can outrun the favorite, all he needs is the guts. Your final return will not diminish, and you can be the cream of the crop. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And we're gonna finish on
It's not where you start, it's where you
It's
finish.
not where you start, it's where you
It's
finish.
not how you go, it's how you
It's not
land.
how you go, it's how you land. Your final return will not diminish, and you can be the cream of the crop.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And you're gonna finish. If you start at the top, you're certain to drop. You've got to watch your timing. Better begin by climbing up, up, up the ladder. If you're going to last, you can't make it fast, man. Nobody starts a winner. Give me a slow beginner. Take it rung after 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 rung.
Now, that was Tommy Tune. He played the next-door neighbor of Ghetto Moskowitz in Seesaw. A chorus line, truly, the idea of a Broadway musical set against an audition, it truly became one of the greatest musicals of all time. You know, the idea of what we all go through on a daily basis, putting ourselves on the line. It also was part of a big advertising campaign. Of course, it ran for 13 years.
Respected artists within the profession, those who are just breaking into the business, and the ones who are still hoping for that one big chance. But all of them are stage struck, and they have to come to New York to try to make the grade on Broadway. It's been going on a long time, this odyssey, and it's still going on now. Every plane and bus and train that comes to New York brings more people who have fallen in love. Stage-struck romantics who have come to audition for the chance to do what they live to do. Go out on that stage and light up the sky.
Right. That connects with turn, turn, out, in, jump, step, step, kick, kick, leap, kick, touch. Got it? Going on. And turn, turn, touch, down, back step. A 5, 6, 7, 8, a turn, turn, touch, down, back step. A 5, 6, 7, 8, a turn, turn, touch, down, back step. Pivot step, walk, walk, walk. The last part is pivot step, walk, walk, walk. You're to the last turn. A 5, 6, 7, 8, a turn, turn, touch, down, back step, pivot step, walk, walk, walk. Right. Okay, this is the whole combination, facing away from the mirror. From the top. A 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's do the ballet combination one more time. Boys and girls, do it together, don't kill yourselves. Mark. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, everybody stage left. First group of girls, listen to the ballet combination. Second group follow. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and with your tongue again. Boy. And. Point your head back. Keep your head up. A little head back. Head up. Head back. Head up. And. Watch the back. Go out. Dance back.
I really blew it. I really blew it. How could I do a thing like that? How could I do a thing like that? I'll never make it. I'll never make it. He doesn't like the way I do. He doesn't like the way I do. He doesn't like the way I do.
All right, go to Brown. That's much better. There's still too much tension. Face, neck, and shoulders. Relax. A 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, hello, dance out. Dance out. Hello, dance out. All right, hold. Sheila, do me a favor. You dance upstage, you. Downstage. Again. 5, 6, 7, 8.
definition.
I knew it when I was in the front.
A 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, hold it. It's very good. Listen, just do me a favor. Stay in the formation, please. Point ahead, Ben. Keep your head up. A 5, 6, 7,
Talk about poignancy right now. I mean, the fact that you have hundreds upon hundreds and thousands of young actors who are totally out of work. There's nothing for them to do. It's just so totally discouraging, and it's sad. This particular song from a chorus line is what happened when someone broke their leg. But even now, it takes on an added poignancy. And I'm going to end today with this. Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I can't regret what I did for love. What I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. And I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Gone, love is never gone. As we travel on, love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. What I did for love. What I did for love. Well, I know there are lots of comments here. Oh, thank you. I see a couple people applauding. I'm looking at the comments. I'm trying to read back through. Just see if there's anything anybody wanted to know. One of the things I'm going to suggest, somebody told me this, if you listen with headphones, it makes it a little easier. I just wanted to pass that on. And I'm just looking to see if there's any questions I have to answer. I'm not seeing anything that specifically needs an answer, but if anybody else needs me to, just send me a text or a message and I'll answer. I thought I was going to get through a whole lot more of these shows today. I'm going to look and see. Maybe I have enough for next time on the same subject as well. There's so many more. I really look so forward to doing this every Friday. And next Friday, 10:30, same time, same station, so to speak. And if anybody wants to reach me for anything, just let me know. Thank you all for being here for me. And I'm glad that we do this on Friday mornings. It's really a lot of fun for all of us. Thanks so much. Stay well, everybody. Take care. By the way, if you don't have your link, don't wait till Friday morning at 10:25 to ask me for it, because I'm usually involved in getting going. So if you don't have the link by Monday afternoon, let me know and I'll get it back out to you right away. Take care, everybody. See you next week.